Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Through the night, deep in the heart of Texas, the trailer park is nice and dark. Deep in the heart of Texas, Ted drinks his brew and he spits his chew. Deep in the heart of Texas, the TV blares but no one cares. Deep in the heart of Texas, here we go.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
Season 3, episode 13.
Yep, episode 13.
De-Kahnstructing Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a take on the movie Deconstructing Henry, right?
I think it's hold on.
Harry? Henry?
Actually,
Henry Harry?
Artie has the information here for me.
Thank you, Artie.
Deconstructing Harry, the Woody Allen film.
Yeah.
He said that the title seems to be in reference to it. He said, but the stories have zero similarities.
Yeah, I think it's more of just a pun.
Yeah, I think so
like
too.
a pun title. Well, we number one, no bell, no yell.
No bell, no yell.
Mm-hmm.
None of that noise.
None of that noise or nonsense. We get started with all four boys out in the alley. The odd thing about this one is it is at dusk rather than like midday or whatever. You hardly ever see them out drinking at night.
And instead of 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's like 5:36.
Yeah. So they're all out there drinking, and Dale's looking at his new watch, which we come to find out has the temperature and the time.
Oh wow!
And
that's fancy for that time frame too.
Is.
Come on, you gotta think that's like we're in the 90s still, late 90s with the temperature.
He says, yes, I do know the temperature. Outside temperature is 98.6. My body temperature is 63 degrees. Oh, wait a minute. And then Kahn comes driving up in his red car and stands out of the moonroof. So whenever I think of like an 80s movie, I always think of somebody like going down some big, like Vegas, Broadway
like
or
Vegas Strip
or something
like that. Yeah,
hanging out of the moonroof or the sunroof. And I don't know what the difference is between a moonroof and a sunroof.
Time of day.
Okay,
I think it's just the time of day is
pretty damn fair, I guess. I don't know. I think I thought I had seen when you go to buy a car that there's a difference.
I don't know what the difference would be. I would only think that it would be what time of day that you're using said window would.
So that kind of thing didn't keep you up at night, huh?
No, not that one. Not that one anymore.
So he comes driving up in his red car, stands outside the moonroof, and says, "Out of way, a working man. I try to get home." Hank says, "Kahn, even old lady Matlow. Have we ever seen old lady Matlow? I don't think we ever.
No, I don't
see
think
her,
so. That might be the first mention of Lady Matlow.
Artie, old lady Matlow. He says, even old lady Matlow could drive down the alley without asking anyone to move. What's that say about you? He says, I leave for work when you sleeping. I come home when you drinking. What does that say about you? Dale's like, so the man likes to drink. So what? I don't think that's the point, Dale, but okay. Sure. He says, you say you're not getting a promotion. Same old job for you. Great new project for Kahn. Come with company car. Inflatable side curtains almost make you want to crash.
Yeah.
He says, I don't need a promotion, says Hank. As assistant manager of Strickland Propane, I'm already at the top. Kahn's like, yeah, okay. I'll leave you to think about that one. Dale says, game, set, match, Hank Hill. That's it.
That's it.
That's all.
Just game, set, match.
So the idea here is that Kahn's gotten this great. He's
Got a good
acquired this
promotion.
wonderful
Yeah.
promotion. He's got this big job. Kahn's a big bragger, and then we head into the credits.
He's all about pissing matches.
It's a little bit of a long opening for a.
Yeah, it's pretty long-winded.
Yeah,
Just for
just to set up
a cold open.
the episode. So we get through the credits, which at some point, what I would like to do, and this is for both Mason and Rusty, I would like to take the opening animation and break it down at some point. I think that's more of a Friday thing.
Yeah, we could do that.
And
That
I
would
know
be cool.
people have done it before, but I would love for us to like break it down.
Has anybody from Texas done it before?
No, we are. Oh, and by the way, you want to tell people our
Yeah,
new
we're
designation?
the unofficial official Texas podcast for King of the Hill. I don't think that there's anybody else from Texas doing one. So I feel
Bandera
like that's a pretty good.
Bandera
good
Entertainment, Mike Judge and Greg Daniels Company.
Yeah.
They haven't not told us that we are the unofficial
Texas
King of the Hill podcast.
King of the Hill
So,
podcast.
we're very honored.
Central Texas too. So geographically, we're probably within 10 miles
Sure.
in any direction
Yeah.
of where Arlen could
I think you're right about
potentially be or not be.
that.
Anywhere from 10 to 45 miles. I feel like we're in that locale.
I just want to repeat this great honor. I mean, Bandera Entertainment, Mike Judge, Greg Daniels have not told us that we are
Well, as
the
a fellow
official,
Texan, I feel
unofficial
like
Texas King of the Hill podcast.
as a fellow Texan, I feel like Mike Judge would understand some of the perspectives that we actually have on the show.
Sure. Yeah.
As two guys who grew up in Texas
Yeah.
neighborhoods. You
And
know?
again, he has not told us. So I mean,
No,
it's a real honor.
I've seen guys fix fences.
Sure.
I've seen guys
Sure.
fix trucks.
I think I've stood in
drink
an alley
beer.
and drank.
I think I've drank
Yeah.
in an alley. I don't know if I was
think
standing.
I've drank.
I don't think I was standing in the alley. I think I was falling all over myself through the alley.
Thrown
but
down
we
an
were
alley
drunk.
one
But
time.
yeah,
It was
maybe.
more of a bowling alley, but still.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so let me take a sip of this hot coffee provided to you by. That's not a sponsor. So we get past the credits, and Kahn pulls up in the driveway. The garage door opens. There's men standing in her bathrobe. I don't know. They strike me as one of those couples that she would greet him at the door like just wrapped in saran wrap.
Only if he just got a promotion.
Sure. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if he just got demoted, no.
She is the
Try
very,
harder.
She's
Yeah,
the very
do better.
definition of a gold digger.
Yeah, I don't think she would be like Kathy Bates in Fried Green Tomatoes. I don't think that she would do that.
So she's waiting for him, and she's got the door to the old school refrigerator wide open. She's got a beer mug in her hand. She says, Heineken or Beck? He says, Beck. She says, dark or light? Dark. Beck, dark. Oh, shoot, I gamble and lose. I just have Heineken and Beck Light. He says, why do you
funny.
give him the choices? And he goes, no dark beer for new systems manager of coordinated project systems? Oh, Kahn, it is finally yours. Do you remember your last promotion? We had pass on Pate all night long. Make love to me. And she just like opens her robe, and it's just.
What is
she got-
pass on pay?
she got
I
nothing
guess
on.
that's sex.
I think it's sex. I think we've
Let's
mentioned
see.
pass on Pate before. But anyway, she opens her robe.
Well, hold on. Let's Laotian looking up pass on Pate.
Well, while you do that, she opens up
yeah.
her robe. The garage door shuts, and you hear Kahn just say, "Boy, howdy," which is just the funniest thing to me. Boy, howdy. All right, you got some pass on Pate?
Oh no, I can't. I
Okay.
haven't found anything on it just yet. You're good.
We're going to assume that pass on Pate means. All right, so next day at Strickland, Kahn comes in and where's Redneck? And Hank comes up to the front. Kahn has got his big propane tank with him. He needs it filled. He goes, so Kahn, you need some propane. He goes, I haven't. He says, haven't they replaced you with a coin operated machine yet? He said, just give me your tank. So I need it filled to the top this time. No screwing me. I have a big party tomorrow to celebrate my promotion. New systems manager. Buck comes out, which I'm not sure why Buck is at work, but Buck comes out. System manager. Well, hell, I like the sound of that. Debbie, that's your new title.
No, she's not in systems. You disrespect an important job. He gets mad.
She just kind of looks back. She's bending over. She looks back and winks at him.
And then, of course, he goes, well, I can't imagine anything more important than what Debbie does.
I can't imagine anything more important than what Debbie does.
Yeah, I'm sure he can't. Yeah, we know what Debbie's doing now.
Hank right in the middle.
Dang it.
Hank right in the middle. He's like, so
hell.
what kind of systems do you manage, Kahn? Like a phone system? And I feel like Hank knows. He's just kind of poking at him.
I don't even know what the hell. What is a systems manager?
Well, I would assume that a systems manager would be somebody who is
managing processes or something.
Yeah, process manager, even like a programming manager can be a systems manager or something like that. He goes,
somebody who just delegates a lot of work.
Sure.
Yeah. You got to be a delegator.
What would you say it is you do here?
Yeah. Delegate, not much.
Kahn says, I can't tell you. We have a big Army contract. So, Kahn, this is Hank again. So, Kahn, those phones you answered, did they sit on a big fancy desk like in a lobby? He says, Hank, you come to work with me. You see it humble you. No, I don't think so, Kahn. You see, we have phones right here in the office. Says,
burning him up.
So I give you a tour. Maybe we give you a big propane contract. And that's when Hank perks up. Now shit got serious. He's like, so you're looking for a propane contract?
He instantly went full business mode. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's strictly propane. We believe
what?
it.
Propane.
And Kahn interrupts you and goes, yeah, we're a big client. You sure you can handle this by yourself? Maybe I need more senior redneck. He goes, no. You got me there, Kahn. We at Strickland Propane, believe, blah, blah, blah. And he just kind of trails off.
He starts to give him his whole spiel.
Yeah, we are now in Kahn's office. He has a picture of he has two pictures on his wall that we can see right now.
Mm-hmm.
One is of a row of satellite dishes.
Yep.
Just a big row of satellite dishes, and the other one,
for whatever reason,
is a single golfer hitting a ball. So I'm assuming these are like motel art type, pictures that he's got on his wall here.
Yeah, whatever he's got going on here.
Hank is standing in his office.
He's an odd one.
Yeah, while Kahn's in his chair behind his desk. Hank says, so if you could tell me a little bit about the company's propane needs, then I can. He goes, this is all mine, Hank, private office. You got such a bug in your bonnet about phones? Check this out. I call France on this phone whenever I want. France, Europe, Huckleberry. You can see Hank starting to get pissed.
Yeah, he's getting real pissed.
And he's just being so petty. He's like, so no window, huh?
He didn't even care.
No. For security, look at this computer, fastest processors in the world. Hank's like, so you got to do your own typing, huh?
Yeah, he didn't.
You come with me. Kahn gets so pissed off when Hank doesn't buy into his little dog and pony shows.
Yeah, no, he hates it. Yeah, he really hates it.
So they're out in the hall, and what I thought at first was a big elevator, but you see all the security cameras out in this big sterile type hall, and they're standing at a mechanical door, and Kahn has to take his employee badge, swipe it through a couple of times, put in the key codes, all this stuff, so you know that the security is like super tight on this place, right? They have the big Army contract or whatever. He goes, Hank, you tell anyone about this stuff and they'll hunt you down. You don't have the clearance. Nobody trusts you like they trust me. Now prepare your brain for razzle-dazzle.
Razzle-dazzle.
Hank says, Kahn, I don't have time to play golf with you. I came here to sell you propane. So he takes him into this giant room, and you think that maybe it's like an airplane hangar.
Yeah, big room.
You think, well, shit, is there going to be UFOs in here? Is there going to be a plane or whatever? No,
nothing.
He just pulls out a big-headed driver and drives a golf ball like 1,000,000 miles in this hangar.
Yeah.
I mean, he
just
whacks
knocking the crap
it
out
just
of him.
Goes forever. And he says, Hank is still over there talking. I don't have to play golf with you to sell you propane because propane hits a hole in one every time. Okay, calm it down just a little bit. But he hits the ball and he goes, whoa. He goes, yeah, company created most resilient ceramic composite ever. Army want to use it on new tanks. We put it on this golf club. Bango! Ball go 400 yards every time. You try. Go ahead. Take a swing. So Hank gets behind it, takes a swing, and he's just like, oh my God. He's never seen anything like this.
Never seen anything like it.
So Kahn's like, oh, impressive? He goes, yeah. You impressed with Kahn's great job. And then Hank snaps back, and he's like, huh? Oh, no, I'm not. Kahn's, no, too late. You say it. Bah, you impress. I win. Now get off my company's property. As soon as he impresses him.
He didn't even want to sell him gas.
No. He goes, if this is your way of negotiating, it's working. Now I'm prepared to offer you a 5% discount per gallon. He goes, no one wants your dinosaur gas.
Yeah, the whole place run on underground fuel cells. Yeah.
Safer and more efficient. He goes, you mean this whole time? Yeah. I yank you around all afternoon. And then Hank's trying to get out of the really, really coated door back there, and it's locked. And Kahn thinks that is just the funniest thing he's ever been involved with because he finally got to Hank. And as soon as he did, he told him to get off his property.
Instantly told him to get off his property. Yeah.
We're back in the alley with all 4 guys. Hank says, this could never get back to Kahn, but after swinging that club, I literally felt like dancing. That's crazy. Hank never says stuff like that.
He's a dancing queen. Yeah.
Dale says, in Japan, I just love this little run of Dale's right here.
Yeah,
In Japan, a round of golf costs $12,000. You play from the rooftop to rooftop. The balls are made out of rice somehow. And when you're done, you get to go home and sleep in a tube. Nobody even says anything. Nobody even says anything about all this stupid stuff. Bill says, I work in the military. I've never even heard of that club. Hank, have you had any regrets you didn't go into systems? Hank's starting to play it down because he's starting to feel the pressure now, right?
Yeah, he's starting to feel it.
Kahn's
warmed up
way better than him.
Well, because Kahn, his whole shtick is that, it's just one big dick measuring contest, piss and match, whatever you want to call it, with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He's always trying to one up the next guy just to impress Ted Wasana song so he could be a part of Nine Rivers Country Club.
That's true.
So here he goes, systems manager.
He just wants to be better than everybody, and we find out that's been a real struggle for him at a certain point. Hank pops up and says, well, if I couldn't sell, about going into systems, he says, well, if I couldn't sell propane, like if I hit my head and went dumb and just couldn't be trusted, well, then, I might consider going into systems if I hit my head. All right, we are now at Fort Blanda Army Base.
Yep, we're at Fort Blanda.
So I got a couple of facts about Fort Blanda.
Fort Blanda. All right, let's go. Where is Fort Blanda?
Fort Blanda Army Base is the local army base where Bill Dauterive works. The base has been the setting for war games and other types of live action training. Although Fort Blanda Army Base is an ARCANET base, it seems to have retained its function and training as a facility from its 3rd Army days. Do you know what ARCANET is?
ARCANET.
Mm-hmm. ARCANET was the network of original Army bases that became the internet. So originally there were these ARCANET bases all over the U.S. that were connected underground.
Yeah.
It was that and some universities. And this is what became, so it was one of the original places where the internet started.
Oh, okay.
Is what they're saying about it. Now the appearances.
Oh, that's for that. So that would be like ARPANET or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like the.
Yeah, it'd be like ARPANET.
This is the equivalent of the ARPANET in the.
I would assume. Yeah.
King of the Hill.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I got you. I'm following.
Or maybe I'm completely wrong.
No, you're right.
Artie, if you want to tell me I'm completely wrong.
No, you're right.
So
you're definitely right.
Appearances in the King of the Hill show, it has been in Plastic White Female, which I don't remember. The Man Who Shot Cain Skrittingberg, which I don't remember it being in there. Now De-Kahnstructing Henry. Okay, so that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Then in future, it's going to be in Take Me Out of the Ball Game, Old Glory, Bill of Sales, Hank's Bad Hair Day, 'Twas the Nut Before Christmas, Tanking It to the Streets, and It Ain't Over Till the Fat Neighbor Sings.
Oh, okay.
So freaking Fort Blanda's in this thing a lot.
Yeah, it's in there.
I guess they're counting every time you cut to Bill, like cutting hair.
Cutting hair, yeah. Yeah,
So.
because Bill was cutting hair in Plastic White Female. He was in the barbershop, remember?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's where that scene, I guess, is where that one.
So I have a couple of things here also, since we're on this Fort Blanda thing. This was posted 4 years ago. It's from Reddit. This is a guy that talks about where Arlen is. So once again, we're back to that.
Another geography. So Arlen, Fort Blanda could only be if it is in Central Texas. The only thing that Fort Blanda could be is Fort Hood.
Right.
Yeah.
So he says, or Chris Aid, ChrisAed, 4 years ago. Again, this is on Reddit. The real proof based location of Arlen, Texas, I confidently feel is correct. So I watched the episode where the archaeologists tear up Hank's lawn. That's one of the very early ones.
Very early ones,
He goes, and it got me thinking. A few hours later, I offered my findings for peer review. The artifacts belonging to the Tonkawa tribe, which at one point or another controlled close to a third of Texas, not too helpful alone, until I realized John Redcorn belonged to the Anazi tribe, whose people also lived in Arlen. A Nazi is a bit of a misnomer nowadays. The proper term is ancestral Pueblonians, a group of about 20 tribes throughout the Southwest.
That's the original in natives.
Right.
Yeah.
He says one of these Anansi tribes, the Kanaka...
Ansazi.
Is that what it is?
It's the Ansazi. Yeah, I was
from
in
Game of Thrones? Oh, no, that's Unsullied.
That's the Unsullied. Yeah.
So it says one of the original tribes, the Kanakawa, I'm probably not saying that right, coexisted in southeast Texas with the Tonkawa in a total of 5 modern counties: Waller, Colorado, Lavaca, DeWitt, and
Tawakoni. T-H-E-U-C-A. What? Yes, Tawakoni.
Tonkawa.
That's Tonkawa. What was the other one?
Yeah. These were the counties.
Oh, okay.
Waller, Colorado, Lavaca, DeWitt, and Carnes.
Yeah.
Now, that couldn't be a random coincidence, right? What are the chances Mike Judge, master of subtle depth, would just pull 2 random tribes out of his ass, put them in the same immediate era coexisting, but both unfriendly to outsiders and other tribes, and be real-world accurate?
Yeah, it was accurate.
He had an idea where he was basing this, so I boiled up some Mountain Dew and put on my Mac hat. Here's what I found. I went county by county, searching distances to no points on the series: high school football leagues, 1830 to 1880s regional history, and real life versus King of the Hill backstories. I mean, this dude has done some work, right?
Yeah, that's pretty deep. That's almost deeper than the guy who wrote the college paper.
He says one stood out.
Might be the same guy.
It could be. He said one stood out: Karnes County, Texas. More specifically, Karnes County, county seat. 4-hour drive to Dallas. Why Hank leaves at 4 a.m. to beat rush hour traffic. Good point. An hour and a half to Corpus Christi, where Boomhauer suffered every summer being the longboard champion, or surfed every summer, sorry.
Yeah.
A 7-hour drive to Lubbock, a 14-hour round trip, so Peggy gets a hotel room, arriving after the shoe store closed for the night. 2 hours to Belton, although not in the same football league. Belton shares a league with Denton, and San Marcos shares a league with Karnes City. I called it a wash. An hour to San Marcos and high school football teams that play in the same league. Karnes County is 80% prime farmland with large economic base in livestock, cattle, poultry, dairy, and pork. The earliest and largest German settlement in Texas is located in Karnes County. Think New Hoffenstein. The Chisholm Trail passes within a few miles. Sound familiar? Peggy found Arlen started as a little watering hole along the Chisholm Trail where the few pioneering women opened up shop, calling it Harlot Town, visited by the Texas Rangers and Ernest Hemingway alike. Real-life Karnes County is named after Henry Karnes, Sam Houston's personal scout, who was sent to learn the fate of the Alamo, later led Texas Rangers through modern Karnes County, also a hero of the Texas Revolution, a leader of one of Houston's regiments. Ernest Hemingway worked for Karnes Cattle Company for some time during his youth and frequented San Antonio, 60 miles away. The San Antonio area became known as the California hipster haven in the mid-late 2000s, 2010s. 60 miles is nearby suburbs where the cost of a house is a fraction of San Antonio apartment prices. Peggy rides this wave in the real estate episodes that almost lost Enrique his house. Karnes County is rich in limestone, gypsum, and uranium deposits and is mined via quarry. Oh, and last one, Karnes County is a hotbed for natural gas and oil pipelines. 2 major pipelines intersect south of Karnes County, the east, west, and north-south. What was Holloway Hollows built near again? Hank straddled it, if I'm not mistaken. The size of the city doesn't match up, but I think there's enough that does to make this a legitimate argument in favor.
It is. The only thing that stops the argument is the Central Texas argument.
Sure.
That is in the where that is would be like the Brazos River. No, not Brazos River Valley. Karnes County is. I just looked up Karnes County, obviously, because I wasn't quite exactly sure. I knew it was below San Antonio,
right?
Which it is a 7-hour drive from Karnes County to Lubbock. So that there's a lot of valid points. It's actually near Goliad. It's actually right up the road from Goliad, right up where Karnes County. Kennedy is the county seat. No, Goliad. Yes, same Goliad.
Not the Goliad from
Texas history. Yes.
No. I mean,
remember the Goliad.
Not the Goliad from what's that show? The Mistress, the Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, the Handmaid's Tale. No, Goliad. Oh no, you're talking about Gilead.
Gilead. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So it's like in the Victoria. It's more in the. It's more in like the coastal. The coastal area.
Coastal
right there.
area past San Antonio.
Yeah. So, That's the only inconsistency, I think, that guy makes some great valid arguments for that area. But again, the Central Texas, them saying it's in Central Texas,
Yeah.
it couldn't be Karnes County.
I think it's just a melting pot of a lot of places. I think is what we've come to. But hey, I love these arguments, though. I love the idea that it could.
Yeah,
be right
I love the
around
idea
us at
too.
any time. So as I was looking through that, there's one more thing, and I want to. I'm doing a call to action here. Okay, this is another call to action.
A call to action.
We saw how well we did with the AI stories, which we still will read, by the way. But this is another call to action. So one of the things I found when I was looking at Fort Blanda Army Base was an old Twitter account. This old Twitter account is at Hotel Arlen. Okay. This tweet is from 2012. The tweet says, preferred hotel of Fort Blanda Army Base, special rates from $45 for members of the military. So I love that, right? So I'm like, oh, this is cool. Somebody's, started this Fort Arlen thing. This Twitter account was started in August of 2011. 2011, right? It's located in Arlen, Texas. Only has 87 followers. But what a wonderful concept, right? They're doing this Hotel Arlen thing where on the sign out in front of the hotel all the time is what the tweets are, right? So, for instance, there's another tweet, or the main tweet says, we're not that kind of hotel anymore, which, I mean, that's a great phrase.
That is pretty funny.
But here's the thing. There's 87 followers.
It links back to Cotton taking them.
Oh,
there
yeah.
Pick
That's
a
true.
live one. Pick
I
a
guess
live
it
one.
is the same one.
That's what that is. Yeah, that'll be the same
okay.
hotel.
All right,
yeah.
this is the same one, Hotel Arlen. Okay, there's only 87 followers. I want us all, anybody who's listening to this right now, pull over to the side of the road, go into the employee bathroom, go into one of the many state-funded rest areas, go into your closet at home, wherever you can go to be alone for like 5 seconds, right? And I want you to go to Twitter and look up the account Hotel Arlen. It's at HOTELARLEN. And I want every single one of our listeners or anyone who listens to this to go follow this account. And I want to keep a running total. And I want to get this account like up to where people can start posting on it again. Okay?
Yeah, hopefully the
owner
of the account still pays attention to it.
Yeah, I want to revive the Hotel Arlen.
Yeah, hopefully it's
Okay.
not dead. I don't want to. Hopefully it's not completely like dead account.
Right. But I mean, here's the
That'd be
thing.
great.
Here's the thing. We can still include it in tweets, right?
Mhm.
We can still tag it with hashtag Hotel Arlen.
Yep.
You could also tag it with hashtag BWAAAKOTH,
Mm-hmm.
which would be wonderful. So let's see if we can get some tweets going from us to the Hotel Arlen, and then go and follow that account, and then we'll give you the progress as that goes along. We good with that?
Yeah, it sounds great.
That's good. Okay.
I like that. Yeah.
All right. So we were with the guys out in the alley, and then we got into Kahn's place, and he hit the ball, and Hank was amazed, and all of that happened. And now we're in the alley with the guys. And Hank says, I can never get back to Kahn, but swinging that club literally felt like dancing. Dale went over the whole golf cost $12,000. And then Hank says something about, if I hit my head, I could be part of systems. Now, we're back at Fort Blanda Army Base. Bill is cutting the general's hair. There's another Army guy cutting another Army guy's hair. And he says, the guy whose hair is being cut says, the wind was really against you in the back nine, General. No one could drive through that. The general says, you did. If you're going to suck up, make some sense of it, man. So it's just these two guys going back and forth, having kind of a little argument or whatever. This guy trying to impress the general. Bill, being Bill with his big fat mouth, says, well, General, you should try that new club with special ceramic you're developing with a composite company. 400 yards every drive. That's what I hear. Well, didn't you all know about the club? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said nothing. We're going to use that stuff on our tanks. Everybody looks over at him. And now Bill can feel the uncomfortableness in the room. He looks at the other guy getting his hair cut and goes, Private Taylor's gay. Everybody's just like, oh, my God.
Hell yeah.
Private Taylor is gay. Bill, you son of a bitch. Okay, so now we are in Kahn's office. Kahn is speaking French on the phone, just like he proved to Hank that he could. As-tu fait du bicyclette? I don't know what he says. Anyway, he says a lot of French stuff. And a guy with 2 security
Talking
guards.
about I know nouveau is new, so
Yeah.
new bicycle with cool
Good suspension. Yeah.
I don't know what as-tu fait means. As-tu fait du bicyclette récemment? I don't know what that means.
I think it's something about receiving a bicycle.
We went to the flea market one time when I was a kid, and there was a French and English dictionary for 50 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand the English language enough to where when I was reading this French book, which English language has a lot of French origins and a lot of our words and stuff
French,
like that,
German.
as well as Latin, German.
Mm-hmm. Latin.
It's a smorgasbord of the Anglo world in the English languages.
Just like Arlen is to Texas.
Arlen is to Texas. And I actually had a dictionary that I would read. I read all the pronunciations to learn how to pronounce it.
Really?
So I was learning how to pronounce
cool.
French words on my own. And then I would look up, once YouTube came about and stuff like that. But yeah, they're just talking about a new bike or whatever, some kind of new bike.
Yeah, so he is definitely using his long distance line to his own
to talk about a bike.
And so a guy comes storming in with 2 security guards. I'm guessing they're MPs. He goes,
Yeah.
Kahn, we're terminating your contract. He goes, this is a business call, I swear. I pay for it. Just bill me. And so it's not a business call. Number one, we find that out. He goes, Kahn, you broke your security agreement. Vacate the building within 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
You had about 4 minutes to get your shit and get on out of here, Kahn.
He goes, I didn't say anything to anybody. Oh, dang. And then he realizes he said something to Hank. We fade to black, and this is a good time to insert commercial here.
Did Hank? Oh,
we'll be right back.
I was like, damn, did Hank do this on purpose? Scene. Yeah, all right.
All right, we are back from our commercial break. We're back in the alley with all 4 guys. Bill says, "Say, look, there's a taxi." He's just excited because he's seen a taxi.
Super excited.
And if you're not from Texas or you're not from a rural area like this, seeing a taxi is a big deal.
Yeah,
like we just don't see them all the time.
No, right? Taxi where?
But the Arlen Cabco drops Kahn off, and he looks so disheveled. He's got one tiny box that's got all of his crap in it, number one, which I felt really bad for him. Dale pops up and says, "Company car trouble, Kahn?" He goes, "Hank, you sell me out. You blab secrets everywhere, and I get fired." He goes, "I didn't." Dale, are you posting our conversations on the internet again? Dale says, "Conversations, no. Actions, whereabouts, you mowing schedule, no comment." Hank says, "See, Kahn, nobody told anybody anything." Then they look at Bill. Bill finally says, "Well, I was having a casual conversation with the general. I don't know. I didn't know we were on the record."
Oh, it was Bill talking about the ceramics.
It was Bill the whole time. Yeah. And Hank, Kahn says, "Hank, I confide in you, and you go tell your dog." And Hank, nobody says anything about the fact that he just called Bill a dog.
Yeah.
And Hank says, "They were your secrets for you to keep. Now, I'm sorry you were fired, but it was your own fault." Kahn says, "You sorry for Kahn? Kahn's sitting pretty. I got severance package bigger than a year of." And he looks around and then finally points at Dale and goes, "Your salary."
Yeah.
Dale says, "Joke's on him.
I don't even make a living wage."
All right, now we're in Hank's garage. Hank is moving pegs on his tool pegboard.
Yep.
To get it just right. He's got to get the distribution just
he's got to get
right.
It evened
because
out.
if you're going to hang a hammer here, what are you, crazy? Hanging a monkey wrench right next to it? That's crazy. So he's moving these pegs around for perfect placement. Peggy comes into the garage. She's watching what he's doing, and she's holding a bowl. He goes, "Hey, Peggy, did you hear? Kahn lost his job." Then he gives a little chuckle and goes, "Oh, boy, it's just awful." Well, systems is like that. It's a crazy business. Like he even knows what the hell he's talking about. He doesn't know what the hell systems
damn
is.
thing about what a system is.
Peggy says, "Why'd you do it, Hank?" He says, "Do what?" He goes, "Oh, good Lord, Hank. Everybody knows you can't tell Bill anything." Hank says, "Hey, don't try to make me into the bad guy. Kahn's a bad guy. He leaked government secrets. He's lucky they didn't shoot him." Peggy says, "You know who's responsible for gossip? Gossipers. You are nothing but a chatty Cathy, Hank. Giant 200-pound chatty Cathy." Well, that can't sit well with Hank, I wouldn't think.
No, I don't know.
So
It's a little rough of her.
next we see Peggy knocking on men's glass doors in the back. She got the two sliding glass doors just like the Hills do. She goes, "Hi, I heard Kahn lost his job, and that reminded me I still hadn't returned your bowl." That makes 0 sense, Peggy, but okay, great.
0, absolutely not one lick of sense.
I heard Bill lost his job, so here's your bowl. Or I heard Kahn lost his job, here's your bowl. Men says, "Oh, thank you for dropping by, Peggy Hill, but we're going to be just fine. Something like this only make us appreciate how many things we have. How many, many things." She goes, "Just look around you. Take your time, Peggy Hill. Savor like you in a museum." She goes, "Well, very nice. Oh, bread maker." And she sees the bread maker. Mm-hmm. "Oh, fruit processor." I'm assuming she means food processor, but okay,
Yeah.
sure, it's a juicer or whatever. She goes, "Oh, ceramic panda." I just wrote down next to it, "What is it?" with question marks on it. But we
Cookie jar.
find out here in just a second. Peggy says, "Huh. Well, do you know? Well, when you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm just across the yard," as Doyle Harcravey says.
Doyle Harcavey.
Yeah, from the paper.
He's the musings, which
Mhm.
Peggy ends up later taking over his job for a little bit.
She goes, "Shoulders make the best tissues," and then she like that's going to help anybody. Men sits down. We see that she is sad, and we see what the panda does. It is a marine radio. It starts giving the marine forecast
with
Yeah.
the marine forecast.
So now we're at a bank teller window. Kahn is at the front of the line. He goes, "I fill out form. I unemployed. Where my check?" The bank teller says, "I'm sorry, sir. Your past employer apparently has filed an objection. Let's see here. Under reason for dismissal, they checked other. Then wrote in treason." He goes,
Yeah.
"Where's my check?" He goes, sorry. Next. Up comes Dale in a giant black mustache and says, "Shackelford, Rusty." "Oh, here
Yep.
you go, Mr. Shackelford." Just hands him a check.
Just
He
hands
goes,
him a
"Thank
check.
you,"
Yeah,
and just
thank
leaves.
you.
So as stupid as Dale is, he does have some shit going. I mean, he really does. From time to time, you find
he
out
gets-
that
he
Dale
gets some
does
going.
have some stuff going.
Yeah, Dale's got some. He's got some scams going.
I don't know where he's getting a check from, but he gets it.
He gets it from
regularly.
Rusty Shackelford. Poor Mr. Rusty Shackelford. You know.
So now we're outside of Hank and Kahn's house, and this threw me for a loop here a little bit because they both parked in front of their houses. You see them come out and meet, but it's because both of their cars are parked in front of their houses, which is really odd. You don't normally see them park in front of the curb. And Hank looks over at Kahn and says, "Well, all right, Kahn, you almost look good enough to sell propane. You got a job interview already?" He goes, "You need interview. I got a good job in reprographic imaging industry."
Whatever that is.
Reprographic imaging industry.
Reprographic imaging industry. What do you
Read as job at Kinko's. That's what that is.
Is that what that
He's got a
means?
job at Kinko's because the next thing we see Kahn working at something that looks like a Kinko's. He's got a name tag on. He's got his.
It's the reproduction of graphics through mechanical or electrical means such as photography or Xeroxography.
You run a Xerox machine. Yeah.
Oh. And why is it? Why in the hell is there such a fancy name for that?
It's
for
so
that?
he can impress people.
Well, no, but why? Not him.
Oh, why does it exist at all?
Why does it exist at all? Why is there that fancy name? Couldn't it just be Copy Boy
I
or
don't
Copy
know.
Girl? Or
Nobody's going home and feeling good about themselves if their job title is Copy Boy.
Nah, I'm telling them straight up. Yeah, I'm a reprographic imaging expert. What do you need?
I'm an analyst.
Yeah, I'm a reprographic systems analyst.
So we see Kahn at the counter, and we hear this voice that says, "Hey man, I'm having a concert this Sunday," and it reveals that it's Chuck Mangione standing there with a whole bunch of flyers. He goes, "Could I put up one of my posters in your window?" Kahn says, "Get out before 3-hole punch you in the face." He's like, "What the fuck?" So we see Dale stick his arm up from over the partition. "Help! I'm stuck! Mayday!" And then over comes Kahn, and Dale is sitting at one of like the PC stations. You used to go into a Kinko's and you could make your document there or whatever.
Yeah, upload it and then print it off their PC.
Right.
Yeah.
Dale says, well, how the mighty have fallen.
Is that Costco you said?
No, it's a Kinko's.
Oh, Kinko's.
Kinko's.
They're building a Costco up the street.
Are they?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Georgetown.
Oh, Georgetown.
Up the street,
So, yeah, it's a big street.
Well,
You can
it's
see
Texas.
Dale is sitting there making Dale's dead bug flyers. He goes, anyhow, this is what I'm trying to do. Combine my logo with a personal message. Now, do you know how to work Paintbrush? Paintbrush? What the fuck?
What is Paintbrush? No, I don't know how to work Paintbrush.
It's the same as, I guess he's talking about Microsoft Paint.
Microsoft Paint, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. First, I need you to swear that what you see here goes no further, given your history of blabbing about every top secret thing that comes your way. And he's got both arms over the
He's
screen,
already blabbed.
covering up the Dale's dead bug thing.
Yeah.
He goes, I can't help you. I can't help any of you stupid people. Everyone in there turns around and looks. And he goes, how does this machine work, Mr. Kahn? How do I print? How do I save? It's Control S, you morons. It's always Control S. Up comes the Kinko's manager and says, all right, that's 3 strikes, Kahn. You're fired. 3? That's only 2. He said, I heard what you said to Mr. Mangione. And then that's it. Kahn is fired as copy boy. We're now in the Hill kitchen. It looks to be dinner time. And Hank is saying, see, the man can't keep a job. It's his personality, not me. Bobby says, does this mean that Connie's broke too? Peggy.
They have all got nothing, Bobby. This goes back to Peggy being just a petty bitch sometimes. They've all got nothing, Bobby.
Connie too. Nothing.
Nothing.
That's why I've asked men to teach Laotian
She's so
to Bobby.
petty.
It's a way to give them money without humiliating them so terribly.
That's such a southern like bless your
It's a
heart
bless your
type
heart
of
moment,
mentality. Yeah.
Hank says, well, I suppose we could throw a couple of bucks his way. And I mean, $2. Okay, Hank, calm down just a little bit. We're at Kahn's house in the kitchen, and there is men trying to teach Bobby Laotian. Connie's in the back looking through the refrigerator. Men says, Bobby, there are only 4 tone markers in the Laotian language. Bobby says, 4? Well, that's not so bad. She goes, in 42 consonants and 35 vowels and vowel clusters. Connie goes, oh, Bobby, pretty soon we'll have a secret language we can speak in school. Min says, no, Connie, I teach, and she gets up and whispers in her ear.
This is terrible.
I
Yeah,
teach
this
him
is
Southern
crazy.
dialect. He's not in the same class. I mean, she's basically just saying Bobby's stupid.
Yeah.
So we're now at a garage sale being held in the Sousa News and Phone's front yard. By the way, I want to go back to one thing here. When we did see the place he works, it is called Composite Analysis Group, Inc. And the best thing I could find, the closest to this, says Composite Analysis Group, Inc. was founded in 1989. The company's line of business, and I want you to listen to this real hard, and you tell me what this means, okay?
All right.
Company's line of business includes the retail sale of merchandise by telephone, by house-to-house canvas, or from trucks or wagons. What does that mean? Composite Analysis Group, its line of business includes the retail sale of merchandise by telephone, house-to-house canvas, or from trucks or wagons. What does that mean?
Okay,
They're selling things from wagons?
They're selling things. Well, it's kind of like the Schwann's trucks.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
But
I guess it would be more like
I'm not
Schwann's,
sure why they have the word wagon on there. I'm guessing
It does seem odd, right?
I'm guessing that's to keep things green energy.
Maybe, but it was founded in so whenever I saw it say from trucks or wagons, I thought it would be like, oh, founded in the 1930s or whatever, because maybe shit was still going around in wagons, right?
Well, you got to think how shit some rural areas are in the world.
But this was founded in 89.
Well, there's still some places,
and it's in Arlen.
There's still. Oh, well, that's the point. Exactly.
I guess so. I guess you're right.
That's why they got horses in Arlen. Yeah, I mean, what's his name? Cotton. He rides up to a birthday party on a horse.
That's true. He does rent a horse very easily.
It could be a one-horse town with one man on one horse.
Poor horse.
I have a funny horse story.
Yeah.
One time we were in Golson. I was at a friend's house in Golson, and it was real late at night. We were like in our late teens, early 20s. Sure. And we were just drinking, having a good time. Well, this guy rides up on a horse, just randomly. We're just sitting there. It's we have a little fire going, and he just rides up on his horse with a beer in his hand and some beer in his saddlebags. And he said, can I warm my hands up by your fire for a minute? And I was like, what the hell did John Wayne just ride up from out of nowhere in the wilderness? It's just this old guy that just rides his horse at night. And
that's very funny.
He just pulled up and just started talking to
That seems like a very Arlen kind of thing, doesn't
it? It does. It's just some random guy. Can I warm my hands up by your fire
Pulls
for
up
a
on
minute?
his horse.
Yeah.
All right, so we are at this garage sale in the Sousa News and Phone's yard, and we see Bill over there on the ever-present jukebox. It is a CD jukebox. We know that by now, right?
Yeah, CD jukebox player.
Bill is over there pushing buttons on the jukebox, and Kahn comes up, hey, Flabbermouth, you break it, you buy it. And so Bill just kind of wanders off.
Yeah,
Kahn starts spraying disinfectant on it, cleaning it off and stuff.
Yeah.
Men, Peggy Hill, so glad you came. Let me show you what designer clothes look like. Maybe you interested. It's just such a dig every time.
Well, they're selling all their stuff, yeah.
Here comes Dale. Kahn, I love this ceramic Panda marine radio. How much? He goes, it's too much for you. No, price is too high. Just name it. $700.
Sold.
I mean, $800. Sold. No, I take it off the market. Because delicate equipment, not for rednecks. He holds the thing up over his head and slams it on the ground, just busts it so nobody can freaking buy it.
Damn.
Min says, Kahn, you selling that stupid Panda? We need the money. That's when he throws it on the ground. Yes, you sabotage our sale. Grib will make his check out to me. He says, with pleasure. And he pulls out these Rusty Shackelford checks and tries to write him a check, and that's when he slams the Panda on the ground.
Yep.
Happy, everyone get off my lawn. Stay off or I turn the hose on you. Min, where my hose? She said, it went quickly. That's a great joke.
It went quickly.
Where's my
hose?
hose? It went quickly.
It went quickly. Yeah.
All right, we are in the Hills kitchen. Hank is feeding the dog, Mr. Dog Kibble. If your dogs are hungry and need something to put in their mouth, Mr. Dog Kibble.
Mr. Dog Kibble.
Hank says, the man attacked his own garage sale, Peggy. He's gone insane. Peggy is over there clearing off the kitchen table and cleaning it. She says, Hank, you have to understand, Kahn is well aware that he's been reduced to the status of a cafeteria worker, and you, my dear, you put the hairnet on his head. He goes, Peggy, is it my fault he makes people hate him? I don't whisper in his ear every morning, be a jerk. That comes from within. Bobby pops up and says, Dad, can I have 15 for my Laotian lesson? He goes, better not mean dollar. He goes, oh, that's it. And so he's pissed now, and he's going to go next door. Hank goes over to Kahn's house. He goes to the back door, knocks on the glass. He sees Min in there, and she's at the table just with her head down crying, just sobbing. He says, hello, Min, where's Kahn? She goes, go shout through the bathroom door. He locked himself in. He goes, well, there's nothing wrong with that. You're supposed to lock the door. It helps avoid embarrassing mishaps.
Yeah, he's not talking to me.
She goes, he's not talking to me. Excuse me. Things right now, this is not the first time Kahn fired. Orange County, Portland, Mississippi, for God's sake. So we find out that Kahn has a history of getting fired from these jobs for just being a jerk, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
every time
it
probably happens the same way.
It's probably his attitude.
Hank says, well, the severance that Kahn told me about. She goes, oh, there's no severance. Hear me? Kahn leaked secret, broke the contract. We get nothing. We live from paycheck to paycheck, and now we're broker than a stone. He goes, well, listen, Peggy and I have just been marveling at Bobby's progress with Laotian, so I thought I'd pay for 10 lessons up front. Gets out a bunch of cash and hands it to her. She pops up all of a sudden. She's like, yeah, good idea. In comes Kahn. What are you doing? We're not a charity case. She says, yes, we are. You make us one. He goes, oh, so now it's my fault I'm fired. I'm out of here. He peels off in the little minivan. Min is just crying her eyes out. Hank is just kind of watching from nowhere. Or Hank is just kind of watching it all happen, standing there in the middle of their kitchen. And so Kahn has left his marriage house. Now we're on the back porch, and we've got Peggy and Nancy sitting there drinking lemonade under the big metal umbrella of their patio furniture. And they're just like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is like their, guys in the alley thing. From over the fence, she hears Min talking to Bobby, Joseph, and Connie. And Min says, Connie, come back again. And then Connie comes back with, no, blah, blah, blah. I can't say it, and I don't want to screw anything up.
Yeah, no, you're good. I wouldn't even try.
And then Min comes back and says something in Laotian very angrily, and Connie goes, I got to go. Joseph looks at Bobby and says, what was that about? Bobby says, it was a series of vowel clusters.
That was a series of vowel clusters, yeah.
Nancy from the other side of the fence, she goes, please tell me I never looked that bad, talking to Peggy. And they're both waving at Min, but it's that very like white Southern lady wave where they're all happy to see you, but they're talking about you through their teeth, at the same time. They don't really open their mouths to say the bad things about you, and they're being very happy on the outside. Peggy says, well, Kahn's been gone for 3 days and then so much as called. Nancy says, I'll bet he's on an adventure. Peggy says, it's not him I'm thinking about. I mean, what would you do if Dale just suddenly left you high and dry like that? Nancy says, oh, shug. I wouldn't get out of bed for a week. And that means very different things to those two ladies. We are now we see Hank come home with the groceries, which I thought that struck me a little bit, that Hank is the one that went out and got the groceries and brought them home. That's great. That's a little more progressive than you would expect from definitely. He sees men, or they both see men struggling with these giant trash bags. She falls over, she punches them. She's having a real tough time. Peggy says, "Why don't you go help her out, honey?" He goes, "Well, the neighborly thing to do is keep your distance." Peggy just stares at him and makes him go. And then Peggy, of course, takes the groceries and falls right into the door.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh, need a hand there?" She goes, "Oh, surrounded by trash. Kahn used to say that when he looked at neighbors." Hank says, "Well, if there's anything else you need." He's just like, "I got to go, bye." She goes, "Well, refrigerator make terrible noise. It'd break any second. Gutters are clogged. Bedroom door is stuck. Lawn go wild like jungle. Come get your ladder. Come on, Hank Hill. You go on the roof now." She's just like, boom. She's
trying to
jumped
get him
on
up
that.
there, yeah.
Yeah. So then we get this montage of Hank cleaning the gutters. He falls off the roof. He's sanding the squeaky doors. He's doing the yard work.
Doing everything.
Min's like feeding him as he works. And Peggy's like watching from behind the window, and she's getting a little pissed. She's getting a little, what do you call it?
A little jealous,
A
I
little
think.
jealous. Yeah, a little jealousy starting to pop up. Little green-eyed monster.
Yeah, she might be getting just a little jealous.
So at night, we were in bed with...
Because she doesn't take care of Hank like that when Hank's
That's
doing all
true.
the chores
That's
around the
exactly
house.
right,
So,
yeah.
you know.
We're in bed with Hank and Peggy, and she goes, "So, Hank, I certainly have noticed how helpful you've been to men," with that passive-aggressive shit that she does every time.
Yeah.
Hank says, "Yeah, I told her I'd seal her driveway tomorrow." She goes, "But what about drinking in the alley?" He goes, "Yes, exactly. I can't get this time back. I'm just trying to do the neighborly thing, like you said." She goes, "Well, just try to keep in mind we don't like them very much, remember?"
That's fucked up.
It
Yeah,
is fucked up.
That's kind of messed up.
Then we see Hank driving on the riding lawnmower, and he's mowing both yards at the same time.
Yeah,
so
at
he's
the
going
exact
from
same
one
time.
yard to the next yard.
Yeah, he's mowing the whole thing.
He goes by Min. She puts a cookie in his mouth. He goes by Peggy. She gives him some lemonade. He goes back by Min. She gives him beer. He goes back by Peggy. Peggy at this point is trying to one-up it. She brings out this six-pack, kind of this tool belt. Excuse me. This tool belt full of beer cans.
Full of beer
yeah,
cans,
full of Alamo
yeah.
beer cans. And,
like a bandolier of beer.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Bill over at the side, he goes, "It's not fair. It's like he's got two families. I think it's unfair when some of us don't even have the one." Dale says, "To think he likes being bossed around by women. If I didn't know better, which I don't." Bill, he passes all the guys and he goes, "Bill, Hank, Dale, Hank, Boomhauer, Hank." And then you
Polygamist.
Dale, polygamist. He just engages the handbrake,
Easy,
looks
yeah.
back at him, and Dale goes, "Hey!" and hops the fence.
Hops the fence, yeah.
So we're now in Min's kitchen. Hank is on the floor behind the fridge. He's working at it because she said that the refrigerator would go out anytime now. He goes, "Min, what I think you need is a new compressor cable right here, preferably a copper one." She goes, "So how would I get that part?" He goes, "From the hardware store." "Ooh, that kind of far away, right?" He goes, "Yeah. Okay, I'll pick one up for you. I was going to head over there myself just for fun, though." So she's screwing up his fun at the hardware shop.
Screwing up his fun at the hardware
number
store
one.
by him having to find something, yeah.
So he's out. He's going to go get this copper cable. He pulls up to a stop sign. It's right next to a Luli's, which is a Luby's. We have discussed that. He sees the King Kahn license plates on the blue minivan.
Yeah, the blue minivan.
He goes, "Is that?" And so he parks and he goes in. And he sees Kahn in the men's bathroom where he's taking a horse bath in the sink. You ever heard it called a horse bath?
I have.
That's what it is, right? Horse bath?
Old Western, yeah. That
Yeah.
would be the Western.
Yeah. Anyway, he goes in there. He sees him in the bathroom. Kahn is just splashing water on himself in the sink. And he goes, "Where the hell have you been?" He goes, "Looking for a new wife since you buy mine." He goes, "I was just paying her back for the Laotian lessons. You know what I'm doing? I'm buying a part for your damn refrigerator." And then a guy comes in to use one of the stalls, and Kahn yells at him, "No, not in there. I got shirts soaking in woolite." Woolite.
Woolite. What is woolite?
Woolite is like a pre-soak.
Oh,
Like
like a
you would-
powder.
Well, no, it's usually a liquid, but you would put woolite on like your delicate stuff to get stains out before you washed them.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Hank says, "Kahn, go home and take care of business." He goes, "Not go back without a new kick-ass job. I show you. I get a job that make you cry every day." He goes, "Look, Kahn, I love propane through and through, but okay, I'll give you this. Your old job was something else, okay? Now go home." He goes, "No, I can't fail. This is not supposed to happen to me. I'm Asian, for God's sakes. More expected of me. You not understand. You somebody's worker bee. If I accept your redneck life, it's like I bury myself alive." He goes, "Well, what about Min and Connie?" Kahn says, "You're my best friend. You take care of them." Hank's like, I'm your best friend.
best friend. No,
Oh
I
my
take it
God.
back.
How sad is that? He goes, no, I take it back. Nobody cares for them. Time's hard. Men's a fighter. They'll be okay. They just stare at each other. He goes, why do you keep watching me, you pervert? Somebody get the manager. He's just so mean to him.
So mean.
So we are back with Bobby trying to take the Laotian lessons, and he goes, Noi. And Bobby goes, no. And she says, Noi. He goes, Noi. No. Noi. And then Hank comes in. Bobby, dinner's ready. And he comes in holding a bucket of what looks surprisingly like KFC.
KFC, yep.
He says, oh, by the way, I actually picked up an extra bucket of chicken on the way home if you guys are interested. And this is how you hurt Bobby right here, because Bobby says, how do you know it's extra yet?
Yeah, you just got here with it.
So we are...
Just got home with it, and he's calling it extra. Yeah, Bobby's looking pissed.
Now it's nighttime. Minivan comes honking up the rainy street, right behind a white car, right into Kahn's driveway. And we find out that it is Kahn following Min into the driveway. Kahn jumps out. Min jumps out. She goes, Kahn, you got a lot of nerve. She starts speaking Laotian. To come back here. He goes, I got a new job, make $20,000 more a year. She goes, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll let you back in and sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
This is where we see Peggy and Hank just watching in their bathrobes because of all the commotion. Kahn says, I thought you'd be happy, so we pack up quickly. Job in Houston. She goes, oh, no. I'm not moving again. People here grudgingly accept us. That's rare. He goes, it's a 3-hour drive. She goes, not negotiable. You commute. And then we see Kahn. He looks over at Hank, and now he's back on top because he says, hey, neighbor, maybe I'll buy your house, storage for my old things. What do you think of that? Hank says, my house is not for sale. Kahn says, oh, then I guess I'll buy your bank and foreclose on you. They're both like mad at each other, but then Hank gets it, and he's like, "Oh, I see. We're back to we're back to normal here." And so Hank starts just kind of walking off. Him and Peggy, they go back to their house. That's a good one, Kahn. Kahn keeps going. Are you laughing or crying because of my great new car? Turbo engine, halogen lights, 6 CD changer in trunk. Hank is already inside. He's starting to turn the lights off, lock the door back up, and so you hear this from the inside. In the trunk. Well, if you need a hand install it in your dash, let me know. Kahn says, it's supposed to be in trunk. It plays CDs in trunk. You hear, why? Who's going to want to ride in the trunk?
Yeah, you wish you could ride in my trunk.
They're all the way inside now.
My trunk's so plush, it's like movie star's trunk.
He's like
well,
movie
you got
star
me there, Kahn.
He goes, my trunk is not like a movie star trunk. It's just a family man trunk. And then Kahn standing there in the dark, all the doors locked up, everybody inside, nobody can hear him, goes,
thank you, Hank.
Thank you, Hank. Yeah. That's the touching part right there at the end. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a feel-good moment where he's like,
he's a jackass and he keeps up his hard persona, but at the end of the day, he really is thankful for. Hank.
It's like anything else, right? It's the yin and the yang of the world, or the universe. I mean, that's really what it is.
Well,
so
him and
Hank
Kahn are the only two that have sense out of all the people in the alley. Really, if you think about it, Kahn's a jackass, but he's not stupid. Like, he doesn't do dumb as things as Bill, and most of the things that he does is mental health related.
The only other one would be Boomhauer, I guess.
Mental health of the pressure of having to be great.
But nobody can understand what the hell Boomhauer's saying. So
no.
So we get the credits, and then after the credits, we hear Kahn say, prepare your brain for razzle-dazzle.
Razzle-dazzle.
And that is it. That is season 3. Episode, what are we on, 13, 14? What is this? 13, De-Kahnstructing Henry.
Yeah, we're getting through it quite readily.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was a good episode.
I liked it. It was a good one.
I think it's a lot of fun.
Anytime
we get involved with those
episode.
Folks. Yep, and I would like to remind you all to please head on over to Twitter. You're this week not necessarily looking for our tag. You're looking for the handle at Hotel Arlen, and I want you to use the hashtag Hotel Arlen or hashtag BWAAKOTH whenever you tweet or whenever you go and follow this account from 2011. Let's wake this thing from the dead and bring it back to where it needs to be, at the center of attention, because the Hotel Arlen is the place where all the cool stuff happens. And there's hookers. Rusty, you want to tell them where to find us?
Yeah, you can find us at BWAAKOTH on most all social medias. I made it easy for you guys, so I also have a link tree, which is also at BWAAKOTH, linktr.ee/BWAAAKOTH. Link tree.
KOTH. Very nice. Very nice. Anything else? We got anything coming up?
Not that I can think of. No, but
Okay.
again, just want to appreciate everybody for driving traffic to the YouTube. It's starting to pick up. It's starting to trend upward really, really, really in a good way. We're at like almost 50 subscribers with like over 100 hours watched already on the channel.
Great.
So appreciate everybody doing that. That's BWAAKOTH on YouTube as well. Still, all of season 1 is up now. I'll be working on season 2, getting season 2 up there for you guys. That's all of our older content. Hopefully, I'll be caught up by season 4. So when season 4 starts, it'll air simultaneously.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic.
That's the goal.
That's really great. That's really great. Okay, guys. Well, we'll see you on Friday, and I think we've got some special stuff coming up Friday, so we'll see you that time. And as always, we
Matanya.
we Matanya, indeed.
We Matanya.
Bye.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.